questions on the pages. I have a label for Q1 here already. It's called Q1, and it's out of 10 points, so I'm going to leave this as is. I'll scroll down, and I have question 2 on this page, also out of 10 points, so that's fine. There's also a question 3 on this page. There's already a label for question 3, so I'm going to move that up beside question 3 and add it to this page. This third page in my template is just a continuation of question 3, so I don't need to add any questions to it. If question 3 had multiple parts like A, B, and C, I could click these add question buttons to add separate questions for each of those sub-questions. But right now, all my 3 questions are labeled and this looks good, so I'll continue. And at this point, I'd normally add my students here and continue on with the setup, but to save time, I'm going to skip ahead to an assessment that's already been completed. So imagine that I have distributed this to students, I've collected the booklets, and I've uploaded them to Crowdmark already. I'm looking at the dashboard of that assessment right now, and under this grading section, we no longer have a start grading button. Instead, we have these blocks for each question. So I have question 1, question 2, and question 3 here. And to start grading, I will click this block. That will take me directly to the first student's question 1. It's where I placed the label in the setup. And I'll grade this, I'll give it a 10 out of 10 here. And you'll see that not only do you see the score in the sidebar, like you normally would, there's also the scores reflected in this label on the page. If I scroll down through the student's work, I can see the rest of their pages. I can see question 2, question 3, and the last page. Over in the sidebar here, things have changed a little bit. You can see that I'm on student number 1's booklet, and these left and right arrows are what I use to navigate between the students' booklets. Down a little farther, I can see that question 1 is the active question. And the score block here is about the same, except in the lower right, we now show the maximum points. The keypad here, my evaluation, and then at the bottom of the sidebar, the next ungraded button has been moved. So if I scroll down the student's work and I want to switch to question 2, I can see right now by this indicator that I'm currently grading question 1. I can just click on this label on the page. I could also use the J keyboard shortcut as well to make things quicker. And I'm going to give the student an 8. And let's say I want to move to the next student. I'll click the next ungraded button. It'll take me directly to question 2 for the next student. I'll give this student a 6. Okay. So far I've graded a few things. I'll show you a few other ways to navigate the grading interface. In my lower right corner here, there's an arrow icon, or lower left corner, sorry, and this opens the page drawer. This is kind of a zoomed out view of the student's booklet. I can click on any of the pages to go directly to that page, or I can click directly on the question label here to go right to question 3. The rotate buttons have now been moved to this drawer here, and I can click that to rotate the page if I wish. And I can also click that arrow button again to hide this sidebar if I want some more space. Another way to navigate is by clicking on the booklet number in the sidebar here. Here I'll have the option to go to a specific booklet number, or if I'm a facilitator, I have the ability to go to a specific student. I type in a student here, I'll go directly to their page. We've also added some options to filtering. Now you can filter by score over on the right-hand side here. You can filter by a specific score, or you can filter by a range of scores. If I go back to my dashboard here, I can see the grading progress that's been done so far. I can see my icon associated with question 1s and question 2 that I've worked on, as well as the time that's been spent on each of these questions. I can also see the percentage that's left to be graded and the specific number of students left. I have one more thing to show you, which is points on comments. I'm going to go into question 3 here. And, well, this student didn't really write anything. So I'm going to switch to my comment tool here. And I can actually give them, it's out of 10, so I can give them, well, let's say they wrote something. Let's say it was close. I'll give them maybe a couple of points off, and I'll say, almost there. This will actually take those 2 points off of the maximum of 10 points here. If I move to the next student, let's say this student did perfectly. I will say, great work, and I'll give them 10 points. Since it's a positive point value, it's actually added 10 points from 0. So negative point values are taken off the maximum points, and positive point values are added from 0. Another new thing is that if you click on this comment library icon here, you can see that the comments I've used are showing up in this toolbar. So I could actually reuse this comment by dragging and dropping it onto the screen. And that will just automatically add those points on. That's all I have to show you today. I'll pass things back over to Dustin for the Q&A.